Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Your sex appeal gives you options. You know what? And ladies, I gotta look, I've seen, and I know I've talked about this before, but I gotta re-emphasize it. I see a lot of women trying to emphasize everything except the thing that actually works on us. You know, trying to talk about your education, your home, all of that. Look, we can respect it. We can respect your education. We can respect how much money you get and everything. But honestly, you putting yourself in the friend zone. Seriously. Because that don't turn us on sexually. Look, your power is in your sex appeal. Your power is in your sex appeal. That's the best way to draw a man. Because if you're trying to use your money and all of that, the only thing you're going to get is really a homosexual or a low-key gigolo. You want to use that sex appeal because, trust me, it hits us on such a level, puts us in a trance. Shoot, you can get everything you want out of a man. Shoot, we try and give you stuff you ain't even asked for. Just that feminine charm. First of all, that body, that sexy body, you wearing your clothes as a magnet and just using that feminine energy, shoot, you'll have several guys. And that's the point of it. You'll give you options. See, you get a lot of women, like, honestly, ladies, you get a lot of women, they complaining, but I can always point to their sex appeal. And I'll just take one look at it. Honestly, seriously, especially if I'm around them, I'll say, you ain't coming off as sexy. Or if they ain't coming off fully sexy, sometimes you can come off somewhat sexy to maybe a few men. But, you know, if you, whatever you lack, and it's more than just your body, but it's your body, your physicality, your charisma. That means how you connecting to the man, and then your femininity. On the men's side, I say it's the physique, the charisma, and the masculinity. For y'all, it's the physique, the body. That's the main thing. Seriously, ladies, that's the main thing that draws us to y'all. You know, there's always an argument on the men's side that y'all, how much y'all feel about a body, but we know it. We know it. And, you know, if you got whatever body part we like, you can emphasize it. Oh, no, we lose our minds. And then how you wearing your clothes, that magnifies it. And then how you communicate with the guy. If you're communicating with the guy in a feminine manner, a friendly, cooperative, friendly manner, oh, shoot. You might, seriously, I've seen some women, I've seen players go crazy over girls like that. Players, you know, and all it is that femininity. Seriously. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm doing all this stuff for the woman. Oh, it's a sex appeal. Because what'll happen is when a man sees a woman, he goes into a mild trance when she has that body type. That's how, it's just primal nature. And see, the more a woman develops her sex appeal, the more she develops her body game hits y'all too. And then her charisma, how she interacts with the man, and then her femininity, which makes her receptive. What it does is not only get men, but it gets you the options of multiple men. Let me emphasize that, because then when you have options, you don't have to be in a position where you got to deal with a man because of it. I'm gonna tell you what, a lot of women have been hurt by a man, or they putting up with some bullshit from a man because, quite frankly, they don't have options. How many women, it might have been y'all, it might have been somebody you know, dealing with some knucklehead, dealing with some guy, and regardless of what he look like, he's abusing her. But then she feel like she got to stay there because she ain't getting the options. And that's, hey, look, that's a game some men play. They'll deal with that woman who might not be as sexy, could have some mental health issues, might be financially not making money, and they dealing with them for one reason, because they know that woman don't have the options. See, the one thing with sex appeal, you develop that gives you options, that give you more guys. You know, because, hey, sex appeal hits, the dogs are definitely down for it. The players, the hounds, all of that. But then the good men too, they still got working penises. the good men. The good men still want to have sex. And indeed, those will be the ones who will want to have sex just with you. But if you got to hit them that way, but see, before to even get to that point, you gotta deal with that sex appeal thing. You gotta work on it. Now, even to get to that point, you gotta deal with any sexual hangups that you have. Because I mentioned in the last one about, how some women, they might dress as a shield, but it could be what it generally is. It could be their religion. Could have been growing up in a strict environment. Unfortunately, it could have been maybe unwanted attention from older men or older men and women in the neighborhood. It could have been something. Even to the point, if you have like any sexual hangups, I strongly recommend some type of therapy. A lot of women have trouble just because of that. Men too, but this is the women's channel. I'll talk about that here. A lot of women have trouble beyond it because of that. But if they could deal with it, and indeed, there's like a little cottage industry that helps women to deal with those sexual issues, mostly teaching like sacred sexuality, tantra, things of that nature, just to help it. Now, I've seen some women, I've known a few or acquainted with some women in that. What they work do is get a woman comfortable with her own sexuality, her own sensuality. Because it is that powerful. It gives you options. It gives you more men. Yes, it draws some knuckleheads, but it draws the good ones too. And then you're not stuck in a situation where you have to deal with some abusive man or something, because when you have options, then you can sit back and say, okay, let me get to know him. I don't have to just take this man just because it's the only one, because that's a big problem. A lot of women will deal with that man just because he's the only one showing any interest. Because I know how y'all are. Y'all want that interest from a man. And if the knucklehead or that potentially abusive man is the only one showing interest, you have a problem. But if you're in a position where you can draw multiple attractive men who got some sense, then you don't have to deal with it. Because that's one of the things that's one of the things where, see, you get some guys, unfortunately, who try to put sex appeal down or think something's wrong, but that's because their own sex appeal, their own sense of their own sensual nature, they dealing with some repression. You gotta ignore that. You gotta be comfortable with it and understand it's a magnet. And I said that to a group of women that was at a summit one time, self-improvement summit. I said, if y'all want a man, just go someplace and cross your legs good. You don't have to show anything, just sit there and chill. That's how powerful. Seriously. I've known some women, the sex appeal was so great, they just be sitting totally still. And men be like making their way over. Because the nature of, ultimately, let's go a little bit deeper. Women are magnetic and men are electric. Magnetic means y'all really draw men to you. You're supposed to. And then we supposed to bring the electricity. We supposed to bring the power. It happens with, when the sperm hits the egg, medical science has shown that there's a spark right there. So, but in order for you to do that, have that magnetism, you have to have those basics. You have to deal with your physique. You have to deal with your body. You have to deal with your body. Body game, y'all probably need that more than men do. Men still need it, but y'all probably need it more. You gotta have that body. You gotta have that charisma. Even when you encounter the man, you still gotta be able to talk to him. You still gotta have that conversation. Now you get some men, they want you to be quiet, but you're talking about a good man, he wants to see what's up here. Because if it's truly a good man, he got options. So he want to see what's up here. He want to feel a connection. I've actually seen men reject very beautiful women because the women's charisma they were beautiful, but the charisma was off in how they were interacting. And then the femininity, there's been men who have said, no, I ain't messing with her. She's too masculine. So that's very important. I've seen that with some very physically beautiful women, but they, the charisma wasn't there and their feminine nature wasn't there. And the guys, they'll talk to them at first and then get turned off. I've seen that. I can think of one specific instance at that. But, so that's the thing. You want to work on your sex appeal. And like I say, you don't have to be, I always say, you don't have to be like looking like a thot or anything. That kind of turns off. But a nice, classy, like one of the things I love. See, I ain't one of those guys talk about like a woman's wall is 30. You know, I've seen some sexy women in their 60s, 50s, and 60s. But what they would do is just dress classy. They still showed their shape. And they still had that charisma. And I can think of one in particular, like, it was on this one job. It was a bunch of young men, and she had all of us wrapped around her finger. And she was married, and we respected it. We were like, man, we respect your husband. Because she was just so, her femininity, how she carried herself, and she was always smiling. She always had nice perfume on. I mean, she had us under total control. She wasn't even officially a supervisor or anything, but she wanted something done. We did it for all of us. Guys ranging from late teens to 60s. But that was the power. And if her husband ever messed up, oh, trust me, you had guys lined up. So anyway, though, I want y'all to know that your sex appeal is nothing to be ashamed of or anything. Use it. You were blessed with it. However you choose to worship, God gave it to you. It gives you many options, all right? So anyway, ladies, that's all I have for today. I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.